Okay, hello everybody. This is one for the mini people that watch just because of the minis. I went to get this one inspected and I need a lower ball joint on this wheel. So it's the driver's side, front lower, and of course nobody has it in stock. So I ordered one. I'm gonna pick it up at the dealer tomorrow morning, 7:30, 8 o'clock. And you know, the guy that does my inspections, I go there all the time, obviously with everything we own, pretty much all the minis anyway. And so he's gonna be able to replace the lower ball joint for me. I would do it, but right now I got so many other things, and I got the grandkids coming this weekend. And so I'm just gonna go ahead on, and plus, you know, give them a little work every now and then that's not so outrageous. So he's gonna get that done, and I'll pick it up. He's got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so maybe he'll get to it Friday or Monday or Tuesday. No big deal. I'll have it done before the end of the month. The convertible, Sharon's, the blue convertible here, everything's fine with this. It just needs to be driven more. The inspection is not due until September. Everything looks good. Oh, what I also did, I ordered one of the lower ball joints for this car. I didn't need the passenger side, but then I went to my FCP Euro, which is another place I order parts from, and I ordered 2 more ball joints, lower ball joints, because this car, I actually want to redo some of the front end work on here. I have the some new bushings for this car, and I'm like, okay, might as well change the ball joint. So I ordered 2 more ball joints for this car. But this one, the gray, this is the original 2004 that we bought in 2004. I have a rear passenger airbag light, sensor light, and my thoughts, or everything I've located or found, it's either under the rear seat or it's in the side panel back here. Let me see if I can get you in there. It's either in the side panel or under the rear seat somewhere. There's just a 10mm bolt back here, and you can take these back seats out, I mean, matter of minutes. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna remove the back seats. I'm gonna open this side panel. There's an access panel here underneath the light, and I'll see. I need 2 hands for that. Let's see. Oh no. Oh yeah. And I'll see if I can locate it, if it's way up under there, or if I got to take the whole panel off. And if so, it's just a couple of Phillips screws and a couple of plugs for the lights. These are some extra lights. This wire I put, let's see if you can look underneath the shelf, just to make, and that was a LED light bar, just to put extra light in the trunk. But what I'm going to do is see if I can locate the sensor, disable it, or take the sensor out. I'll order a replacement and replace it, and then see if I can clear that airbag light. When I put my scan tool on it, on the in the OBD2 reader, it said passenger side rear airbag sensor. Now these minis, let's see, the first generation minis, I'm hoping it's not the passenger seat airbag, because they have an airbag here in the bolster of the seat, but they also have an airbag up here that comes down. It's the curtain. So the curtain, and it says it's the sensor for the curtain is behind in the back. Let's put this seat is back here. So I'll remove this cushion and probably that side panel, and go ahead on and get that done. Anyway, I'm gonna take care of that today, and then I'll mess with some bees. So if you're here for the bees, I got some stuff to do with the bees later. But right now, I want to tackle this. This car isn't due for inspection until May. So I should have enough, get that taken care of before May. And if not, it gives me plenty of time. It's only February 16th, so. All right, let me knock this out, get this disassembled. Okay, I just want to show real quick what's going on with the rear seat backs. The front just pops in place. I mean the bottom. But in the seat back, you can look here. This is like a door latch, basically. There's a pin here on the back of the seat. And you can see it. It's like a door latch. And it latches in place. When you put it down, it closes down like that. And there's a bolt, 10 millimeter, that holds it in place. Now, a lot of people who remove their seats quite a bit or quite often, they don't even put this back in place. And then you just have to, and then the seat can release. On this side, on the panel side, you can see there's it's like a T, it's at an angle, right? And you have to get the seat in the right position because on this side there's pins. Can you see the pins? So the pins have to line up. Let's see if I can show you. Here, both of them together. The pins have to line up with the slot in the carrier. You can see the slot there. So, and that's about quarter of the way down. So you gotta release the seat and put it down about a quarter of the way so that these pins here can line up with that to pull it out. So, but you gotta remove the middle first. And that's how you get the seat back off. And it's the same on both sides. So the seat back is simple. The seat, the bottom, you just kind of pop it up like that and pull it out. And then I'll go ahead and remove it because I'm trying to get to, I probably got to take the whole side panel off. You'll see these two black covers under the back seat. There's three things that's important here. The two back covers, one of them houses the fuel pump, which I believe is the passenger side. Nope, I take it back. The passenger side houses the fuel filter. So you have a supposedly lifetime filter. I've already replaced mine once. It was dark, dirty, nasty. So that's the filter side. And then this side is the fuel pump. I've already replaced the fuel pump in this car one time. Again, this car has got it's got 286,000 miles plus. So I've replaced the fuel pump in this car one time. There's a little trick. Let's just say you're at a gas station, your car won't start, or you haven't started it in a while and it won't start. The battery's good and it's just turning over like that. There's a little trick. If you bang on the seat on the driver's side, on the back seat, like, so you're basically hitting this panel on this side, that's the driver's side in America. But if you kind of tap on that, you're hitting the fuel pump, and that sometimes would make it start working. So you turn the key on, don't start the car, but turn the key to the run position, and you'll hear a click, or you might. But if you tap on that, that might get your fuel pump running. But I would not rely on that. It's happened to me. I went ahead and ordered the first time it happened, I ordered a fuel pump and sending unit, and it all comes in one piece, and I replaced it. Don't rely on being able to tap that to start your car every time, because that one time you need it to start, it won't start. The other thing, for those of you with a hatch, there's a cable right here. runs there, and it comes out the middle under the seat. There's a pull ring. If your batteries dies and you have a Cooper S, your battery's in the back here, and your actuator for your hatch is electronic. So how do you get in? There's a couple of things you can do. One, you can open the hood and put a jump start in the hood area. Or two, you can reach under the seat and pull this ring. And that's a manual release for your deck lid back there. You might have to pull it with one hand and push the hatch up with the other hand. But that's a way you can get in and either change your battery or jump start directly at the battery. There's jump start ports. Let me show you this, just so this could be an option as well. Those of you with minis, the passenger side is your hood release. And first generation, you at the front of your car, right here is your release, catch release. So that yellow thing is your catch release. So and it catches here. The jump start ports. This car is a supercharged engine. You see where it says battery, and that's positive. So you lift that, you can put battery jumper cables here, and it also uses the transmission mount bolt here. So if you go here for your negative, there's also a negative. Some people might not see that, but that's actually negative. So you put your negative terminal, negative jumper cable here, positive jumper cable here, and that may give you enough juice to either jump the car or enough juice to open the rear hatch electronically. So that's just a couple of tips. Hi, okay, I saw on Facebook where some people could not find the airbag sensor. Okay, it says, like, the pictures are vague, and it says that they're on the wall in the, I'm on the passenger side of my car. This is the back. So we're gonna go into the back. I took the rear seat out, the bottom cushion. I took the backs out for convenience. Had to take the side panel off. There you can see the speaker. That was an aftermarket. I don't know which one, but whatever. This is one unit, part of the airbag system. And then this under here on the floor is the airbag sensor. So my code says I have a passenger airbag sensor failure. So what I'm going to do is replace this sensor right there. I might have a used one in my parts car, but I will also order one, order a new one or a replacement, and get that in. But if I can look in my parts car and maybe find a test unit where I can just test it out. But for those of you looking for it, you got to take the panel off, the side panel. And in order to take the side panel, you also got to take the lower, I don't know what you call this, but it covers the, it goes here and it covers the back, makes it look nice. Because it's tucked, this part is tucked under this part. So you got to remove this first, then you can remove this. I also unbolted my rear passenger seat belt. It's a T50 and it bolts, where does it bolt? Oh, down here. It bolts down here. So I took that off. Some people might bend the plastic cover, but I didn't want to bend my plastic cover. I kind of store everything in the van when I use the van as storage, as a truck, as everything. So I took that off because you got to get it, and it's actually located. There's the speaker here. The speaker would be in there. There's too much sun. Let's go back up here. And I'll just lean it against the car. Okay, so this would be the rear panel. And you can see the rear speaker is here. And the actual sensor would be located right under here. Now, why they wouldn't make this a panel? You can just remove this little panel. Why they wouldn't do that? Because they're mini. So they want you to take the whole panel off in order to replace it. But, so that's what I did. I took the whole panel off. I'm gonna locate one, or I may just purchase one online and go ahead on and replace it, clear the code, see if the code comes back. If it's the whole module, side module, I believe it's that thing up there, that beige looking unit there. But we'll cross that bridge when I get to it. But for right now, I'm just going to replace that smaller one there. And that's it. So close this up, because I left this open. Okay, so I'm going to go and see about either ordering one, and I'm going to look in my parts car to see if I got one in there, easily accessible. So that's it for now. Some of you may recognize this car. It's the same color blue as Sharon's car. It's a convertible. It's a 2005. But this is my parts car. And believe it or not, it was running and driving when I first got it. It was an accident, but it has the hood stripes. It had everything. Everything was fine. I've already taken so many parts. I've got my money's worth. I paid $200 and some odd for this car. I have a supercharger already, still in my storeroom. I'm working on taking this transmission because there's a tab here, right here, and that's where your clutch slave cylinder connects to. Well, the tab on my orange Mini is broken, and it's built onto the case. So I will either, I'm just going to take the whole transmission and swap it out with the one on the orange car. The engine, like I said, it was running and driving. I drove it, well, I got it here on a trailer and started it up in the street and drove it around the block. I shouldn't have, because the rear end was wrecked. But I just wanted to see what it drove like. I sat it, let it run for like 3 hours, and it ran, didn't overheat or anything. It had a few aftermarket parts. It had a strut brace, a M7 strut brace. It's got the underneath strut braces, but they're shot, the bolts anyway. But the problem with this car was the rear end was smashed. The rear end was smashed, so it got rear-ended, and all of the suspension in the rear was broke. So of course the insurance totaled it. This is a roof with a sunroof. I had to purchase this. You can't see, it's too the sun. Anyway, I had to purchase this whole roof just to get the sunroof, because one of the trees, the limbs fell and broke one of my sunroofs on one of the two hardtops. So all of this stuff, my neighbor, he does scrap metal. So he says as soon as I'm finished with the parts that I choose to take and keep, he's gonna come and take this away. So for me, I'm gonna see here if I find, it doesn't look like they're the same. No, convertible is not the same. So I've already gotten rid of a lot of things in here. stripped out a few things. There's things in here that I don't like, that I don't need to keep, so I'm not even going to worry about them. But yeah, I can't wait to get rid of this. And I know Sharon can't wait to get rid of it too. So, but yeah, the convertible's not the same. I'll probably keep the hood. She doesn't want the stripes on her car, but it's the same color. Hate to get rid of it, you know. You need to have it so I can put the hood with the stripes on when I drive, and then change the hood with the plain hood when she drives. But we'll see. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna have to find me another one, what I'll call either FCP Euro, and get a couple of them. And also, for those of you who got first gen minis, which, you know, I rescue them, so it's first gen rescue, but there's a place down in Tampa, Florida, AllMag, ALLMAG. I think it's AllMag Auto or something like that, but you can look it up. They also, they buy these wrecked or whatever, and they break them down, and then you can find parts, because the first generations, you know, it's getting harder and harder to find parts straight from the dealer. Some of them are old, some of them you just, you know, they're little things that they just don't make. Like now I know I need 2 yellow clips here. I think I got some. I'll look. There might have some in the parts car that I can use. But yeah, so just little things like that. So sometimes, like the used sunroof, you know, I got that locally, but they had it. If I was willing, you know, they wouldn't ship it. Well, I think they would have shipped it. I don't know. But anyway, just to keep these going, first gen rescues is what I call the ones that I rescue. So yeah. But anyway, all right, let me get inside, and I'm gonna order this part, and then I'm gonna go and look for these yellow tabs, things that I need. And we'll think about this orange one. The orange one is under here, and that's the one that the transmission is broke, or the tab on the transmission. But we'll get it going. All right. Hi everybody. I just realized that I didn't do an update or final notification on this car. This is the 04 Mini Cooper, our original Mini Cooper S 04. My dogs, they see a squirrel. Not my dogs, but my neighbor's dogs. They see a squirrel. Anyway, this is just the ending on the video that I had the airbag light on, and I realized I never did do a follow-up or finishing. So I'm going to tell you what happened with this car. And in the other videos, I changed the sensor. The OBD2 reader was telling me I had a passenger's rear airbag sensor, and I changed the sensor on the inside of the car. If you remember, it was the inside panel on the passenger side. I showed you that, and I changed that panel, or that sensor. That didn't solve the problem. I then took it to the dealership. I know it was expensive, but come to find out, what it was is my positive battery cable. Now, everybody's like, how can that be expensive? It's a positive battery cable. 3 things. The battery is located in the trunk of the car, or the rear boot, you know, and the cable runs from the rear boot, under the car, next to the exhaust, all the way up to under the bonnet. There's a jump start thing. I showed you that in the video. Well, that's one cable that goes that way. And of course, there's 3 different electronics on the cable itself. Let me show you that. Okay, I'm going to show you all of everything I'm talking about here. I got the keys here. These were cool, these little silicone covers for the keys. I got them to match each car. So the light blue one is for that car, and the gray one is for this car. But anyway, I'm going to unlock it and unlock both doors, and I'm going to pop the bonnet. Again, passenger side on these cars. And right up under the headlight is the yellow hood release. So the battery cable, you can see it's red right there. It comes up all the way from the back of the car. You can see it's brand new. It's red. It's bright red. Brand new. So it comes here and then it goes into the engine management and the fuse box, and all of that stuff is here. The engine computer is here. The fuse box is there. So it runs all the way along in the tunnel of the car to the rear hatch. My grocery bags here. I gotta loosen up that. Okay, so you can see the cable. It's brand new. It's bright red, brand new. There's the orange thing down in there, and that. And let me see if I can get you in there a little bit closer. But that is part of the electronics. My fingers are getting in the way. That is part of the electronics. But what you also see is that big black thing on the cable right there. Well, what that is, there's a thermal charge in there, and that yellow connection, the wire connection to it, is part of the sensor system for the airbag. And what happens is, I'm going to put this cover back on here. What happens, there we go. Oh, excuse me. When the car detects that an airbag went off, it sends a signal through this yellow connection, and there's a charge, and basically they say it's an explosive charge that breaks the connection from the battery to the positive terminal. So it basically disconnects the battery from the whole car when there's an airbag issue. That whole cable had to be replaced because my issue was inside that battery, the charge part of it. It cost $480 some odd to buy the part and have it installed. No. I'm sorry. $480 some odd for the part. And then another 300 and something to have it installed. I could have probably installed it myself, and I probably will do the next one if I ever have to do it again. But yeah, so that's the update on that. But it is fixed. Everything works, the system, it passes inspection. So again, remember, when I was doing it, I took off all the inner panels here, the back seat, both top and the bottom of the back seat, and I was trying to troubleshoot the best I could. Unfortunately, I'd never found that. I didn't even know to look for that. Now I do, and if it happens on another vehicle, then I'll know what to do, and I'll get the part. And I may even get a used one if it wasn't from a wrecked vehicle. Maybe just a donated vehicle. Again, there's about 4 or 5 places I buy parts from, but in Florida, Allmag, ALLMAG, they break down minis, and they'll sell you headlights. They'll sell you rims, originals, if you bent one or whatever. But yeah, so I did take care of all of that. So that was the saga on this one. Oh, let me close this. And that's what I had to do to get it fixed. She's fixed, and she's running, and she's all good to go. So I just wanted to do that update and to let everyone know that that was the end result of this issue. And yeah, so anyway, thank y'all for following, watching. I hope this helps somebody else. Again, these are first generation Mini Cooper S models. That's the only ones I really deal with. I don't deal with the R52 manually aspirated, the non-supercharged models. I don't deal with the turbocharged models. All the ones we have, supercharger, 6-speed car. 2003, supercharger, 6-speed car. 2005, orange. This is the giraffe. Oh, my cover, I got it lashed down. Anyway, this is a 2005 orange convertible 6-speed car. And then way back in the back is a 2005 blue convertible automatic, which is the only automatic. Oh, speaking of only, this is the only car we have with leather. Everything else is cloth interiors too, which I prefer cloth. But those are the 4 minis that we dailies, and then my parts car, which will be going away at the end of spring. Yeah, that's a promise I made that I got to keep. So anyway, so that's it for now. I just wanted to give that update and close out that video series. Y'all have a good one, and I hope this helps somebody. I forgot. I got one more thing to add, and I always do this. But anyway, I had mentioned FCP Euro at one point in the video. I order parts from them. None of this is sponsored. I don't get any sponsorship. I don't get any parts. I pay full price, so I don't get any breaks. Sometimes you'll find a coupon code, but other than that, I order parts from them. Also, I got stickers on my car that says "Out Motoring." That's not just a slogan. Out Motoring, and I got them on each of the minis. Out Motoring, and I put it there on the, and it's on Sharon's car, but only in this location. On the blue convertible, it's only in this location. And I have a set for the orange. Out Motoring is a company in Tennessee, and they have new and used parts that also they're Knoxville, Tennessee. And I even stopped by their shop one day, driving both one time driving this gray car and one time driving this blue car. Stopped by there, and I got free T-shirts, stickers, keychains. But I bought a few parts that I needed, and I've ordered quite a few parts from them as well. And then, of course, I use all of the other things, sometimes Rock Auto, sometimes whatever. Just whatever I find the best deal, the best parts. Sometimes it's dealership. So I just wanted to say that. I'm not sponsored by anybody. When I buy a part, or when I use a store, or when I say I go to Lowe's versus Home Depot or Ace Hardware, that's just a choice that I make. And the reason for Lowe's is that, as you may see on the back here, my wife and I both are United States Navy veterans. So at Lowe's, we get a 10% discount. Here on her car, she was a corpsman in the United States Navy, which is medical, like your basic enlisted nurse type thing. I was a boiler technician, which is down in the engine room, boiler room, and we provide steam for the ship's use, along with generating electricity and hot water, and we used distillers to make fresh water out of the seawater, the whole works. Anyway, so we were both United States Navy veterans, so we get the 10% discount, and I enjoy it at Lowe's. So if there's something I can buy and I can get at either Lowe's or Home Depot, I go to Lowe's. And that's it. It's not sponsored. It's just what I do. Anyway, all right, I'm going to end this now, and thank you guys for staying along. I get long-winded. You guys know that, but I'm normal. That's just me. I'm a little different. And as Sharon says, with all of my hobbies and all of the things that I do, the junk that I do, she always, I'm a little extra, so I'm extra. Anyway, y'all have a good one.